By the end of this video, you're gonna know how to start coding and how to keep coding. Let's get into this. Hey everyone, I'm DThompsonDev. I'm Danny Thompson. Did you ever get the random thought where you were like, I would really like to learn how to program? I go to websites all the time. Why can't I make them myself? Or I really want to get into tech. I love looking at software. Well, let's make it happen. Tip number 1, find a resource and start now. Inspiration has an expiration. I don't care what resource you start with, start now. Now, I'm biased to a couple resources. I started my journey with Freecodecamp.org. I will always recommend Freecodecamp.org. But if you don't want to use Freecodecamp, cool, no problem. Use Codecademy. Use the Odin Project. Go ahead, use something. There's so many resources out there, and there's so many that are free that you can start with. I highly recommend you starting with a free one. Find out if you like this, but start now. I don't care if you have to pause this video, pause it, go to one of these resources, and just start your first line of code. Just start the process, and you can come back and get the rest of these tips, but start now. Hey, make sure you hit that like button. It'll help me out with the YouTube algorithm. Tip number 2, realistic timelines. A lot of boot camps and places like that always advertise, oh, become a full stack developer in 90 days, become a software developer in 90 days. Like, here's the thing. You know the show 90 Day Fiance? They can't get a fiance in 90 days. You're over here gonna get a 6-figure career in 90 days? I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm sure there's people that have done it. I'm just saying for the most of us, I'm just gonna be honest, and most of us, it's not gonna happen in 90 days. It's gonna take a little bit longer. I know developers that have done it in 90 days. I know developers that have done it in 6 months. I know developers that did it in a year, 2 years. It doesn't necessarily matter how long it takes you to get to that goal, as long as you keep progressing to actually reach that point. Sometimes it takes longer for people to learn concepts. Give yourself the permission to fail. Give yourself the permission to take your time, because I see so many people, they rush, and then they burn out, which is huge in tech. It happens a lot. But also, when you keep rushing, what ends up happening is you're cutting corners, you're skipping things, and then you're getting to a point where you don't understand something and you don't know why you don't understand it, and you realize you skip fundamentals. Don't skip your fundamentals. Give yourself the time to learn everything, because I guarantee you it's going to pay off tenfold down the road. The other thing is, a lot of people, they rush to a goal, and when they don't reach it by that timeline, well, they give up. I don't want you to give up. Here's the thing. Tech is a lifelong journey of learning. It's never going to stop. You're always going to keep learning. Don't kill yourself trying to reach some arbitrary goal. You're going to reach there regardless. Just reach there and stay there. That's the key. Tip number 3, frustration leads to creation. I've yet to meet a developer at any level that hasn't been frustrated at a time or two. It's gonna happen. Programming is frustrating. You're gonna get a bug that you can't figure out. You're gonna have a problem that you don't understand. You're gonna come across a data structure that you never experienced before. You're gonna get confused. You're not gonna understand why something's broke. You're gonna have to debug some things. You're gonna have to code new solutions. It's part of it. We all get it. Just understand that it is completely okay to be frustrated. Just because you're frustrated, it doesn't mean that you're bad at this. We all fail. We all make mistakes. All of us do. It just means you need to work a little bit harder. You need to approach this from a different angle, and then you'll get past it. It is completely okay for you to question whether you're good at something or not. Let me reassure you right now, I've been in this field for several years, and I'm telling you, I question myself all the time. It isn't that you're good or bad or you're terrible at this. It just means you need to keep progressing until you get to a point where you either understand this problem or you reach out for help. You look in your local community, you find a supportive community. There's so many ways, but just understand, when you're frustrated, it just means you're progressing. And I guarantee you, if you proceed through that frustration, you are going to create something amazing that you're proud of. And the greatest thing about developers, we never really talk about like, oh, like I created this program that does this. We talk about, man, I had this problem that I couldn't get past, or, oh man, this thing really stumped me and I ended up using XYZ to solve it. That is all what programming is. Don't worry about it. That is exactly what programming is. That's the essence of being a developer. You're on your way. Don't worry about it. Tip number 4, your projects don't need to cure cancer. Stop thinking so big and just get your practice in. Here's the thing. A lot of us, when we're building projects, we're like, oh, well, I want to build something and it's just a little, a little website or something like that. No. It's not a little website. It's not a little program. Your projects are preparing you to be in a position where maybe one day you do cure cancer. Building things are going to make you a better developer. Simple as that. I don't care what you build, just build something. Build a dog app, build a cat app, build a house app, build a car app, build a website for phones, build a website for houses, build a website for your comforter, build a website for your bed set, build a website for your living room furniture, build a website for whatever it is. Just build something and get that practice in so you can understand these new concepts. And I guarantee you that is going to be a ticket that skyrockets you to the next level. Tip number 5. Bite-sized goals lead to a full meal. Don't just say, I want to make a whole website. That's my goal. I want to make a whole website. Instead, break them down. I want to make a header. I want to make a section for content. I want to make a section for text. I want to make a footer. Those 4 bite-sized goals, now you've got yourself a simple website. Bite-sized goals are going to take you where you want to go. If you just make big goals and you're heading down that path and something happens, you may get discouraged, you may get pushed off of it. Small achievements are going to keep you in the race. So make your goals big, but break them down into smaller goals so that way you're able to check this off, check that off, and make sure you're staying on that momentum that you need to be on. But I guarantee if you break them down into smaller and smaller goals, you're going to get a lot further than having these big goals with no steps to it. Bite-sized goals lead to a full meal. Now I can talk about stuff like this all day, but I really want you to check out my other videos. So check out my other videos and I will see you on the next one.